Okay, remember they're changing my voice. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why it is so stupid for people from a privileged group of people that have sabotaged other people for thousands and thousands of years and hundreds of years more recently in history to pretend that they're ideal and to sabotage people for that effect. First, let's connect it to the obvious, okay? The key root causes of child rape, other crimes, and poverty. So when we look, at the term good looking, right? Looking good, being good, having a good heart, and it shows through, and the person's handsome and healthy, and so on and so forth, right? Adventurous, romantic, sweeps you off your feet, so on and so forth, okay? So how does that contrast with white privilege? Okay, now I am not saying that it is impossible at this moment in time for a white man to look good. But I am saying after I'm gone, it is, white, you, LGBT, and everyone else who's alive. And I'm saying that while I'm here, if they don't obey God through me, it's impossible. And listen carefully to why. It has to do with the key root causes of child rape, other crimes, and poverty. Number one, poor governance and people not putting objective morality first. So why are all these horrible things happening in the world? Because the governing class, which is white, Jew, and LGBT disproportionately, where it matters most in the developed Western nations and in Russia, okay, do not put objective morality first, and they're of course, they're poor governance. So the very first reason we must look at whenever we say is who's in charge here. If you're in the military and you see a bunch of people, they've been through 6 weeks of training, and it's like it's their first day there. They're sloppy. They don't know anything. You're like, which drill sergeant's in charge? What are the officers in charge here? What's going on here? Why are you people governing so poorly? Why are you leading so poorly? Right? So it's poor governance. And the key reason why is they're not putting objective morality first. What we all know is wrong, right? Stealing, raping, killing, right, for no good reason, right? What we all know is wrong is they don't understand that they must live objective reality. Morality and reality too. Yeah. Two, the insistence on cultures of unfocused people. So if people aren't focused, like a nerd who's easily led, like a unfocused, murderer, right, in the streets, schizophrenic, out of touch, he's flailing around for no reason, okay? And you see, the jocks, the drug addicts, the drunks, even professionals are unfocused, right? It's a weird, unfocused, silly professionals like Pinky, in a suit. You know what I'm saying? They're insisting on these people embracing being unfocused. Not so much that they start unfocused, it's that they're insisting that they maintain being unfocused so they can disassociate and pretend that this scum are ideal and that scum should lead and so on and so forth. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Point number 3. The rejection of sound and logical, moral, and masculine figures in society, actually men, especially one of black African descent. Think who people actually believe. Okay, so it's not just that the black African leaders historically are the best leaders in human history, is that people believe them also. Now, it's not saying that no white people or Jews can be in positions of power, mind you. It's saying that when you don't have these people front and center, okay, what happens? That people start thinking that something else is something they should be like, and they fail. If you try to be like Bill Gates, you're going to be a greedy piece of shit. If you try to be like Jim Carrey, you're going to be a clown-ass punk, kind of frat boy hazing ninny. You try to be like some nerd-ass scientist, you're just going to be a bitch who does whatever the government says, okay? So if you don't have these strong and logical moral figures in their optimum presentation, then we expect a higher level of crime than if you did. Pretty straightforward. Point number 4. Where culture limits the parent's ability to take on a philosophy of good parenting. So if every culture is garbage and the parent's just trying to conform, it limits their ability to take on a philosophy that leads to good parenting, that raises someone who's sharp and moral, and so on and so forth. 5, of course, the poor parenting. But it's important we look at those first 4 points first. 6, the media influence. 7, peer pressure. And 8, controlled opposition groups that perpetuate the problem. So the only people trying to stop them, quote unquote, are people in controlled opposition who are making sure that there's cultures of unfocused and immoral people and people who pretend to be moral, wolves in sheep's clothes everywhere, and that's all you see everywhere you go, okay, then we're going to see child rape and crime and poverty. Now, are we seeing child rape to an unacceptable degree in terms of governance? Obviously, all child rape is unacceptable, but to a degree that's not understandable, yes. Let's look at females alone. It says one in 4 boys in their lifetime will be sexually molested, before the age of 18, and 1 in 4 females. 1 in 6 boys, 1 in 4 females. Okay, before the age of 18. So now what does that mean? Look at these numbers here. There's about 170 million females in the American population, somewhere around 170 million. Now, 1 in 4 are sexually assaulted in their lifetime before the age of 18, and many are sexually assaulted more than once by more than one person. So many are assaulted more than once. Some have been sexually assaulted thousands of times. So think about what the average would be. So this means at any given time that 42.5 million females have been sexually assaulted, sexually molested, okay, for the first time, okay, before the age of 18. So, we're looking at the number in terms of per person, not how many times they've been sexually molested, but so this means that at any given time, 42.5 million females have been sexually molested before the age of 18, are being sexually molested while under the age of 18, or will be sexually molested before they turn 18 at least once. Okay? So right now, there's 42.5 million females that either have been sexually molested and they're under 18, are being sexually molested while under 18, or will be sexually molested before they turn 18. So they actually have been sexually molested before 18, they are being molested right now, or they will be molested before they turn 18. So of the 170 million females in America, 42.5 million fit that category. The average lifespan of a female is about 67 or so, right? It's been a while since I looked at it, somewhere around there. So this means that every 67 years, on average, 45.2 million females have been sexually assaulted before the age of 18. So it's something like that, right? My math might be a little off there, but it's something like that. So every 67, 69, whatever it is, years, okay, the average, some die before, some die later. People are born all the time, okay? 45.2 million females have been sexually molested before the age of 18. So some of you are 67 years old, 45.2 million females have been sexually molested while they're under 18. That doesn't count for, that doesn't take into account the boys that are molested, doesn't take into account for the females who are molested over the age of 18, who are raped and sexually molested over the age of 18. You see what I'm saying? Now, they made it a little confusing. They're fuming right now. So notice they're punishing me. Their spirit is also not just allowing for this atrocity to continue and insisting on it, but punishing the most righteous person ever while he's trying to speak on it and ordering attractive women to shun me. Now you tell me that allows for these people to then point to the white Jew and LGBT, the main people who are doing it for their people to seem better than everyone else. One of their main motives, it's not their number one motives, mage and image. Game is mage scrambled, and the word image is game scrambled. One of the main motive is not their main motive is to look better than everyone else and to get attractive females more than everyone else for their groups, white Jew and LGBT. And they're punishing me. Their spirit is also killing and punishing anyone who interferes. There's 9 million children starved to death in the world every year, and it's disproportionately the white Jews and LGBT's fault by far. They're the governing class, the main globalists, you name it. So you tell me, if it's racist to point this out, you tell me how they could possibly think that someone would be so dumb as to think they're ideal. Any attractive female that dates them is a dumb, selfish, petty, never grew up, slut, dumb bitch. There's no other way it could be. No other way.